There you go. Solo P1. This is Solo P1. Welcome to what we got the transfer on there for. Trains up. This is Solo P1. Yeah. We're going to talk about what happened at Abu Dhabi yesterday. And I'm going to bring in my co-Qs, my partner in crime. He's Mr. Toto. Abba. How's it going, Toto? Big up. Put your camera back a bit, bro.
We go.
So, yeah, we're here. Abu Dhabi 2021. And we've just got live. We've just gone live. And we have 10 people watching. So I'll let you take it off from here, bro. Big up.
I mean, look, as you always ask me how I'm doing well. Doing very well, everyone. We've got 10 people in here. Get your thoughts in on what you think about the season. Because we're not really going so much over the race. We're going briefly over the race. Because overall the race was a bit boring, to be fair. But look, glad to be here. Glad that Lando won the championship. Yeah, I'm a happy man. Of course, another Brit winning the championship, and I was supporting Lando all the way. But yeah, overall, so far so good.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you talk about what happened at the Grand Prix. It was a really, really good Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing Grand Prix. And yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about it. I'm gonna be back shortly because I'm having a problem with my connection. Does my connection look good?
Your connection's fine.
Oh, that's fine then. So yeah, go ahead.
Not me about the weekend.
I'll let you go ahead.
I mean, like before the weekend when we did our preview, I was saying that Lando is going to be really, really good in this race, and of course the Mercedes was up there as well. Charles Leclerc had an amazing race. The Ferrari building its way up, and but yeah, I think so far the main highlights in the race is Leclerc's kind of comeback, not kind of comeback, but his performance, because Leclerc was putting Lando under pressure very, very early in the race. Of course, you had Lando losing places to Piastri early laps of the race. But look, all Lando had to do then is finish in the top three. And the only way Piastri could win the championship, he can outscore Lando by, I think, 12 or 14 points, which was very, very on a slim edge. So I don't think Piastri really had any chance of winning it. Of course, if Max wanted to win, Lando had to finish fourth. But again, I thought Lando managed his tyres very, very well. I thought McLaren got the strategy right. The pit stop time was right. They're really, really good in the pit stop. And Lando just, cruised his way to victory. He rarely made any mistakes. Of course, regarding Lando, there was one incident in the race that it was with Tsunoda. And there was big controversy online saying, why didn't Lando get a penalty? Because he went 4 wheels off the track. Well, if you think about it, with Tsunoda, he got his penalty because he moved about 3 or 4 times on that straight. And when Lando was going for a move, Tsunoda was still trying to force him that way. So we kind of forced him off the track even. I think that's why Lando got let off of it. And of course, we all know on a straight, and if someone's going for an overtake maneuver and you're a defending driver, you can't move them more than once. You have to move once on a straight, and that's it. And Tsunoda broke that rule, and that's why Lando got a bit of courtesy for it from the FIA. But I think Lando drove an amazing race. He rarely made any mistakes. Of course, he got overtook by Piastri. Again, Piastri was on the thin edge of winning that championship. Lando was in the driving seat. He had that championship position. He came to that racing first, and he always had that advantage. But credit to Lando, he turned it around. A few races ago, I was saying, look, Piastri's done it because Lando was making too much mistakes and he was very, very inconsistent. But that sprint weekend really, really helped him, and of course, some race wins really helped him as well. And Lando, got himself on the straight and narrow.
We're going orange today.
But look, the overall weekend was good, but the race is a bit boring. But still, I'm still happy for Lando winning the championship. It was exciting though, man. It was very, very exciting. Verstappen coming there last minute. Verstappen finished second in the end in the championship. and it was very, very tight. 2 points. At the end of the day, a win's a win, innit?
Look, there's a saying that I'm not sure if it's on here. There's a saying in motorsports. I would say there's a saying in life. And this is it.
Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
There you go. Very simple. Winning is winning. Doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And that's it. Winning is winning. We're going to talk about it. I want everybody, we're going to get right into the race. We're going to talk about, we're going to see what's going on, what's next for, and there's been a breaking news coming in, by the way, breaking news. We're going to do it straight after this. So the breaking news is the breaking news. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We've got over 10 people watching. Big up to everyone as well. Remember, get involved, hit the subscribe, like it as well. Big up to people on TikTok. I appreciate the people on TikTok as well. Very patient with me. Big up to everyone. We cover everything on this channel. We do Formula One, we do football, women's football as well. We do everything on this channel. This is why it's called Keep It Sports. If you've never met me, if you're first time on the channel, my name is Solo P1. And the co-owner of the channel there is Toto Abba. I'm just excited today because we have finally got a new world champion, Lando Norris. And the breaking news just coming in straight off X. The breaking news is, are you waiting for it, Toto? Are you waiting for it? The breaking news? Breaking news is Lando Norris will use the number 1 next season on his car. There you go. We need an applause for that one. Where's the applause? Come on. Congratulations to Lando Norris. He's going to have the number 1. And also, the other breaking news just coming in as well. The other breaking news just landed on my Twitter feed. Exclusive. That if Lando Norris is number 1, Max Verstappen will not put the number 1 on his car. So we can applaud that as well. So Max Verstappen can go back to number 33 and Lando Norris can wear the number 1. But weirdly, for me, I don't know, because let's talk about the numbers of Formula One. Are they a big thing in Formula One, or is it an ego thing? When Lewis was the world's number 1, Lewis still had his number 44, because we know his 44 was from his old days with his dad. His dad had number 44. I think it was on his dad's car. So that meant something to him. Are you a big fan of the numbers in Formula One, Toto? Do they really bother you? Do you ever think about it? The number 1 numbers on your car?
I'm not really a big advocate for it. I reckon you should just keep the number what you went into racing with. You know, I don't think you should really. Again, it's a driver's decision, isn't it? You get the 1, you're honoured to have that number 1, that you're the champion, to let everyone know you're the champion, and you're the basic number 1 driver there. But no, I'm not really a big fan of it, to be fair. I just think that you should stay with your original number that you went into racing to and what you loved as a kid. You know, you should keep with that number. It's kind of like a Lewis thing, you know. He kept with his number 44 all through his career. And that's what I would do if I had a number, say 7 for an example. I would keep with that number throughout the rest of my career, really. Yeah. But again, drivers like having that number 1 to give them that honour, that the world champion in it. So, you know, it can go both ways, but I'm not really a big fan of it.
Yeah, like I said, look, some numbers, big up, you're damn straight. There you go. Number 1, Lando Norris. LNI era is officially begun. Lando Norris, number 1. It has finally begun. Finally. And I'm not sure if it's going to be the Lando era, but I would say it's the end of the Max era, really. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? Yeah, and this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. If you don't agree with me, feel free to chime in. Put your comments in the chat room. Toto's doing that on Twitter and Instagram. Put your comments up in the chat room. We do appreciate these guys. We will be making F1 videos, by the way, through the winter. It doesn't matter if there's no Formula One on. We'll be doing our regular shows on here, which is the Flaming Tarmac. And we will be doing our regular shows on here. This is the debrief. This is the end of the debrief for the season. This is episode 70 for the debrief. But every week we'll be doing our Flaming Tarmacs. But before we go forward, I want to big up to everybody on the audio as well. This one goes on audio podcast. This goes on Stitcher, iTunes. It goes on all the platforms, everything. So remember that as well. So let's get straight into it now. Listen, this era was built for Adrian Newey. I've said this before. I've gone on the record to say it was built for Adrian Newey. Adrian Newey was the only car designer who had a thesis in ground effects. Nobody else did. This is why Red Bull took off at the beginning of the 2022 era of the ground effect. No other car could catch up. Mercedes couldn't grasp it. Ferrari could definitely couldn't grasp it. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. It was all orchestrated for Max Verstappen. That's what it was. It was all orchestrated for Max Verstappen. Adrian Newey was the car designer at Red Bull, and he was the only one that knew about ground effects. And this is why Max won. For me, he only won 3 world titles. That's it. For me, it was 2021. It was Lewis. If you don't agree with me, I get it. But that's how I feel. And whatever your opinion is, I respect that as well. Hopefully, you can respect my opinion and just be nice about it. You get me? But yeah, that was my opinion. I think this was the worst era of cars. The worst era. It's weird how they took away the fastest lap as well, because that helped Max Verstappen win the titles in the past. And as soon as Max Verstappen won the past in the title, what happened? They took away the fastest lap. Didn't even notice the fastest lap's gone. Now they're taking away DRS, but it is what it is. We're going to move. We have to evolve with times. Now, for me, the ground effects is the worst era of Formula One. Next year, we're going to go back to old school engine power, which I want to go back to the way it was in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, etc. As soon as it got to 2022, the ground effect, didn't like the ground effect. It was horrible. It was a horrible era in Formula One. What's your thoughts on the ground effect, Toto? My opinion, it was just disgusting.
I wasn't really a fan of it. Of course, you had the porpoising as well, which we had big problems with.
Yeah.
It was just a horrible era. Next regulation is going to be quite interesting because they're removing DRS. There's no DRS for next season.
Which I'm a fan of.
So it's more slipstream now. Back to old school. No DRS. Of course, the whole model of the car will change as well. From 2022, we had that same model. Now it's going to be abolished, and it's going to be a completely new concept and model for the 2026 and the new regulations, which is cool. You're going to see a whole new style to the cars. But yeah, this ground effect, it's just I didn't like it, man. I think it's one of the worst era, if not the worst era of Formula One. It's very, very not really a big fan. Not many people are a big fan of it as well. But what I really like about next season, that they've taken away DRS, so it can be more closer, and on-track battles will last longer. Of course, you still got your ERS, you still got your overtake, you still got your battery power, and all that. But DRS is what usually gives them that extra kilometers or miles per hour, and it allows them to have easy overtakes. Now, I think you're gonna see more on-track battles, a lot more closer and last for longer. So it's better action, really. If you're a historian, you like watching the old races when there was no DRS, you can see how close the on-track battles were. From back then. Of course, I never had ERS back then, but it's still like they never had any DRS, and DRS is what really is the core of making them overtakes quicker on the straight line. It can make it more exciting, but yeah, I'm glad that they're scrapping this ground effect era, and we're going to see new teams up there, and
we've got the new teams. We've got Cadillac. Cadillac's going to you're going to have Checo Perez. He's coming back with teaming up with Valtteri Bottas. We also have Audi replacing Sauber. Sauber's been in Formula 1 for over 35 years. It's the end era for Renault as well. There's going to be no Renault at all in none of the cars. So it's kind of an end of an era, really, for Formula 1. But again, 2027 and 2026 is the new era. So we're going to see the cars, slightly smaller cars. It's going to be more hybrid than petrol. They're still going to petrol, but they're going in that direction to make it, sustainable for fuel. For me, I like old school engines. I want to hear the engine underneath me. I don't want to hear silence. I hope it doesn't go in the direction of Formula E. That will be not good for Formula 1. The whole point of Formula 1 is when you go to the track like we do and listen to the cars, you want to hear the cars. You don't want to see drivers going around the track, in Silverstone, and Maggots and Beckett's, and you don't hear nothing. You just go, woo, woo, woo. That would be crazy. So I hope the Formula 1 don't go in that direction. But they're going to be smaller cars. Every year after 2026, they're going to make the cars a bit smaller as well. So that's good for Formula 1 as well, because I think the cars are too big. The cars are the size of a small boat. You know what I mean? This is why you can't overtake anywhere, really. And there are only certain tracks where you can overtake. So if you minimize the cars, make the cars a bit smaller, obviously the overtakes are going to be a lot easier, get me? So that's what I think about it. But I'm excited for the new era. No DRS. I'm a big fan of that. No DRS, because I think DRS is kind of a cheat code. When you got DRS, it kind of helps you out. We don't want that. We want it to be more even, the even cars. So the old school way is you just use the drag. You get me? You get the toll. That's the old system. So that's good news. It's good news, Toto.
Yeah. I think Formula 1 is going the right way. Of course, you've got Aston Martin, who's going to be might be very, very good.
We'll talk about that after who do you think was going to be good next season. But go ahead. Go on.
Yeah. Next season, I reckon, like I said, Aston Martin. I think next season Aston Martin would be good. Of course, Alonso this season outperformed that car. And I think ever since the arrival of Adrian Newey, they've been doing much better. Alonso actually finished quite well in Abu Dhabi. He usually does good there anyway, but, especially like Fernando Alonso, he will outperform that car and he's got that experience with him. I think Aston Martin's got, some good moments to come for next year. Of course, Lance Stroll is still there. So it's still going to be the same Alonso and Lance Stroll. So two experienced drivers. And they can probably do well next season. I just can't wait, man. You got Cadillac coming in, Bottas and Sergio Perez back in Formula 1. You got Audi, Sauber turning to Audi with Hülkenberg and Bortoletto. We might not see Audi on the up next season, but again, we don't know. We don't know. It's new regulations, man. We're not knowing until winter testing. Even winter testing, we might not even know fully. It's down to them. That qualifying and race session where we're going to see where the team's at. But even then, in early parts of the season, there's teams still putting on upgrades, so you might not see until the fourth or fifth race who the best team is overall. Look, Red Bull might be down. Of course, Adrian Newey's not there anymore in Red Bull, and it could be a different story for them. McLaren as well, it could be a different story for them as well. You might see Mercedes. I think Mercedes are going to do very well. Ferrari might do well. And I think Aston Martin is definitely going to be ones to watch for next season.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think with Aston Martin, he's with Adrian Newey, he's the best in the world for designing cars. He's not just a car designer, he's an engineer as well, / mechanic. He will... He's going to Aston Martin. He's the team principal in name, but we know what Adrian Newey is going to be doing. He's going to be working on his car. He's going to be making the car into a machine. I think Aston Martin's going to be a force as well. I'm not sure if Aston Martin are going to be the fastest at the first year of the new regulations, but I think over time, maybe it's the second or third year into the regulations, I think that Aston Martin is definitely going to be right there, because you got Adrian Newey, you got his team. You've also got, I think that Christian Horner is going to end up going to Aston Martin. I just got this feeling that Christian Horner is going to be going to Aston Martin, because look, Adrian Newey is the team principal. And when you're a team principal, you're the guy that comes out and talks to the press, talks to all the Sky, all the journalists. I can't see Adrian Newey doing that. Adrian Newey's not that. Adrian Newey's that guy. He's in the garage and he's working on the car. I think they're going to bring in someone else to be that spokesperson, to talk to the media, to talk to the press. And I think that's what's going to be Christian Horner. I think Christian Horner is going to be going there. I heard there's rumors that he might be going there, but the rumors are that he wants some of the team. He wants a bit of the team. He doesn't want to just kick out like he did with Red Bull. He wants to be part of the team and have basic stakes in the team. So I agree with you that Aston Martin will be a force, but I don't think they're going to be a force at the beginning. I think it's going to be the second and third year when Adrian Newey's grasped the car, because he's only just gone there, hasn't he? And I know that he's working on the car, but you might be right, Toto. They might be the team to beat at the beginning, but I think it's going to be the second or third year in Toto. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah. I think Aston Martin's going to be a fourth for next season. I think I want to go back to kind of this season, greatest moments. Of course, there's not really much to talk about the Abu Dhabi. Of course, Lando win the championship. But there's not really much to talk about because the weekend was overall boring, to be fair. And there's probably one thing to talk about is a big shock in qualifying where Hamilton finished, 16th. And
I was reading the chat. We got the chat talking. He says on here, he says he will not get another championship he got with luck, not skill. I think he's referring to Max Verstappen. He will not get another championship. He got this with luck, not skill. He's talking about Lando.
Yeah, Lando.
Oh, okay. He got it with luck. Okay. I think Max Verstappen got his first championship with luck as well. I think that was Lewis's to work that way, but I get what you're saying. We got a lot of Red Bull fans in here, big up, and McLaren as well. Toto, go ahead, Toto. Lewis.
Well, I was going to say that Ferrari is an absolute shock of the season. Regarding Lewis finishing 16th in qualifying, which is absolutely diabolical. They've both been struggling with that car, Leclerc and Hamilton. Of course, you can say Leclerc's been performing a bit better than Hamilton in that Ferrari car, but Lewis is simply hasn't got used to it. It's his first season in Ferrari and going from one of the top cars to one of the bottom cars. We can't believe the same Ferrari, one of the bottom cars this season. He hasn't been performing well, and he's simply not been getting used to the car. Of course, Leclerc's been there for longer, so probably, of course, he performs better. But yeah, at the moment, the Ferrari drivers can't wait to see the back of that car and not drive it again, because it's been absolutely horrendous.
These guys.
It's been horrendous season for Ferrari. So I think for next season they could potentially do well, but Ferrari's had an absolutely diabolical weekend, except from Leclerc's actually got a good position in the race. But yeah, that Ferrari car needs to go in the bin, and don't want to forget about this season. There's been a lot of good moments this season though, but
why is there so many salty? Let's just get onto the controversial part for now. Why is that? You know me, Toto, I can't hold my tongue. Why is there so many salty Max Verstappen fans? The guy's won 3 world titles. That's enough, bro. Time for someone else to take over. Someone else can't win every year. He tried the mind games at the press conference, didn't work. Told people on Twitter 2 months ago, go and check my Twitter out at Solo from GB. I told people on Twitter, you can go on all my profile and check all my tweets. I told you two months ago, Max Verstappen ain't going to win the world title. Everybody thought he had some magic power that he was going to get the car and bring it to the end. Not going to happen. He won it because it was a car. That's why he won his 3 world titles, because he had the fastest car and he had ground effects. And nobody could grasp the ground effect concept. Nobody could. Nobody. Mercedes tried, failed. Ferrari tried, failed. Everybody tried and failed. Aston Martin gave up at the beginning of the season and started working on the 2026 car because they knew they failed. Why can't people just admit it and just say he lost? He lost. He lost the world title. That's it. World number 1 is Lando Norris. When Lewis got screwed in Abu Dhabi 2021, and in my opinion, Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion, all the salty Max fans, all the Max Verstappen fans came onto it and says, Stop crying. Stop crying. Now that's my, and this is me retorting that. Stop crying. Stop crying. World champion, Lando Norris. Simple. Very simple. World champion, Lando Norris. That's it. Move on. 2026. The era of Max Verstappen is over. Over. Because Red Bull is going to have their own Red Bull engine. Red Bull actually might be 4th or 5th fastest next season. The Honda's gone. They've got their own concept engine. Still in the early stages, so they ain't going to be faster than Mercedes. They won't be faster than Ferrari, and they sure not won't be faster than McLaren. That's just the way it is. Every era dominates. Every person has got their era. You had the Max Verstappen era, you had the Lewis era, you had the Vettel era, you had the Schumacher era, you had the Senna era. Everybody has their era, and eventually it comes to an end. That's just the way it is. This is Formula One. We've been watching Formula One for how long, Toto? Years and years and years. So at the end of the day, he had a good run. They nailed the regulations because of the ground effect, and that's it. We move on in it. Next year, we all should be excited for the new year. You get me? The new year, new cars, new concepts, new everything. It's good for Formula One because let's face it, the ground effect, nobody cared about the end, did they? Nobody cared. It only got excited when McLaren got that floor. I think it was last season in Miami when they brought that new floor in on the McLaren car and they just hit it then. That's the only time that this era got excited because before that, it was all Max Verstappen. It was all Max Verstappen. Max this, Max this, Max that. Because you knew every weekend when you was watching Formula One, you knew what was going to happen. Max would get pole and Max would win. And people like, oh, look how many race wins. Yeah, because he had the car. Because he had the car. If Lewis Hamilton was in that car, he would have got the race wins. If Lando Norris would have been in that car, he would have got the race wins. It's the fact that he was lucky enough to be in that car and to be in that team. And the fact that Adrian Newey was the car designer who had a thesis in ground effects. Very simple. It's not very hard to work out. It's actually very simple. I say that every week in my videos, but it is very simple. He had a thesis in ground effect, and he was the only guy that could nail it. It was only right at the end of the regulations that McLaren got a snippet of it. And as soon as they got a snippet, what happened? The Max Verstappen era finished. It was all about the McLaren. For the past 2 years, it's all been about the McLaren. Don't get me wrong, Max Verstappen done good at the end of the second half of the 2025 season. But if you go back to last season, last summer, up to now, it was all about the McLaren. It was all about the McLaren. I wish it would have been like that at the beginning of the era. Then we would have had a good era, but it wasn't. Max Verstappen had 3 years of domination because he had the car, he had the team, and that's very simple. It's not the fact that Max was any different to Lewis. Well, he's, in my opinion. It wasn't the fact that Max Verstappen's any different to Norris, any different to Piastri, any different to even Alonso. It's the fact that he had the car. Just like when I spoke to Alonso the other day, if I had that car, I would have done it as well. It's the car. He had the car underneath him. And that's the reason why. And as soon as McLaren nailed it, as soon as McLaren got on top of it, they came at him. And then he had no answer. Then he started moaning. Then he started trying to play tactics. And then Ambiasi, his engineer, Max's engineer, came out on the radio and said, Kimi Antonelli moved over for Lando Norris, causing division online and death threats and bullying online towards Kimi Antonelli, just because what Ambiasi, his engineer, said. It's very simple. So every word, every comment have an effect. You get me? Has consequences. It's the fact is they got beat. They got beat by the better team, and that's it. It's very simple. Double constructors winners in a row and world champion. And people can tweet as much as the one online and say this and that. Everyone's got their opinion, and I respect it, just as long as you respect mine. But what it boils down to is Lando Norris is world's number one. And that's it. And he will be going into the 2026 season with the number one car. Do I think that Lando Norris is going to win it next year? I don't know. Because I don't know what the regulations are going to be like. And that's just my opinion. And it's
I think McLaren and Lando, I thought he rescued this season pretty well.
I've done my monologue. There you go. It's true though.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think regarding Lando rescue the season very well. I think a few races ago, I was like, Piastri's won this because Lando was very, very inconsistent. But that 2-week break that he had, he took time for himself and focused. He focused more, and he brought in results. Started getting pole, started getting race wins, won the sprint races. He started getting maximum points in a weekend, and that closed his gap to Piastri. And then Piastri started being inconsistent, making mistakes, and all Lando did is take advantage of that. He got the strategy right. He got his driving right. He was clean, he was smooth, and all that come into play, and he was gaining points after points after points, and that allowed him to have that big 25-point gap going into Qatar. And that was down to Lando getting the results, getting the times in, beating his teammate in qualifying, beating his teammate in the sprint races.
No, it all went wrong for Piastri after Baku.
Yeah, and
he couldn't handle them low grip tracks. The low grip. He was talking about it yesterday. The low grip tracks, he couldn't get handle. I think there's about 4 a season, and that's where he lost it. He said he's got to work. The low grip tracks, he's got to work on. He's got to work on it because that's where he lost the title. His confidence went then as well. Because I think overall, Piastri is just as good as drivers as Lando Norris, if not better, as an actual driver. But he dropped the ball, didn't he? Them 4 or 5 races, he dropped the ball, and he only just started to come back a couple of races ago. But by then, it was over. It was over, and that was it, man. It was over. Yeah,
it was, and I thought Lando really improved his driving as well.
Yeah,
he was a lot more calmer. As I said on the television, we're talking to Sky, that Lando was a lot more calmer, and nothing really bothered him. And that's how you win a championship. You got to be mentally strong, and Lando's mentally strong, and he improved his driving, his consistency. His starts got a lot better. You see that in the past few races. It's not just Lando won the championship. No, there's a lot more things behind the scenes that he's doing. And if you think about it, his starts got better, his consistency got better, his races got better, his race strategy got better, everything got better. Maybe the only problem was the pit stop delay, but again, that's not Lando, that's the team. But everything Lando got right to perfection. Of course, no one's perfect, but end of the day, Lando improved his driving to get them points. So you can say skillfully he got better, and his pace got better. So Lando deserved this, man. He improved his driving and all that, and improved performances, and that's why he's world champion at the moment.
And that's it. The points don't lie, the tally don't lie. People say, Max Verstappen won so many races, don't want to do this, don't want to do this, bit of that, bit of this. But what it boils down to, he didn't win the world title. Lando did, because he was consistent towards the end. Obviously, his teammate helped him as well. Having a teammate up there with the points helps as well. Max Verstappen, who did Max Verstappen have? He had Yuki Tsunoda. I remember at the beginning of the weekend and everyone saying, Yuki Tsunoda, he's going to be the big factor in this championship. No. What happened with Yuki Tsunoda? He ended up getting himself a penalty because he actually thought he could drive a car, and he come and stuck and got himself a penalty. That's exactly what happened to Yuki Tsunoda. He tried to slow him down, tried to run him off the track. He actually probably tried to take out Lando Norris. But what happened? What was the outcome of that? Yuki Tsunoda got himself a 5-second time penalty. Good one, Yuki. Nothing happened, did it? Nothing happened. So you got to give Lando Norris respect. People coming out and saying, it's a one-off. People are saying, he's not going to win a world title again. We'll see. But we're not talking about next year. We're talking about now. He's world champion, and that's it. I just find this so disrespectful sometimes. When Max was winning, everybody would say, Max, you got to show your flowers to Max Verstappen.
Look,
now you're gonna do it to Lando Norris, isn't it? Lando Norris deserves it. He was there.
I'll go back to the Fernando Alonso comment.
We'll move on to that now. Go.
There's so many drivers that can win the world championship and perform better, but it's the car that they're in.
Yeah.
Every single time when Lewis win the championships, even when anyone's winning, it's the car. It's the car. Because if you put Lewis, if you put Max in a Sauber, he won't win the championship. It's simple as that. It's about the car you're in and what car you are blessed to be in. Lando had the right car. McLaren got it right, and of course Lando improved his driving. But overall, it was the car why he was up there a lot, and he took advantage of that and won it. Like with Max when he was on that domination of championships. That Red Bull car was superior. First lap, they were like 6 seconds ahead, 2 or 3 seconds ahead in the first lap. That's when you know the car was just to perfection. And that's when Adrian Newey was there as well. It was just everything was perfect and the pace was there. And Max just took advantage of that and won those championships. You know, you have to be blessed and be in the right car at the right time. You know, Lando, he stuck with McLaren even in their bad days. He stuck with McLaren all the way, and McLaren got the car right for that season, for this season, and he took advantage of it and went home and won. It's the luck of the draw, really, on where you are. But yeah, you know that's the season for you. You know, you have your ups and your downs, but Lando just took advantage of it and took advantage of mistakes. Of course, there's a lot of pit strategy mistakes from McLaren, which was very, very questionable. But again, they still got it over the line.
Exactly.
They won their drivers and the constructors. It's not going to go in history. Oh, yeah, they only won by 2 points in the drivers. Oh, they won by a couple there. No. They got it over the line. 2 points, 1 point, 0.5 points, 0.1 points. It don't matter. They got it over the line. And they can come out and here say, they won the drivers and they won the constructors. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought McLaren were going to bottle it. I'm not going to lie to you because of the pit stop strategy we're doing. And it was just so questionable. The papaya rules, I thought they were going to mess that up. But look, they still won it by 2 points and they got it over the line.
Simple. Let's go. I'm going to put the final standings of the race. And then we'll talk about what was our favourite moments in the Formula One calendar this season. And then we can wrap this season up with a bang. So let's do the results, the driving standards. This is the official driving standards, guys. This is on the F1 website. I will be saying it and who the position for the people listening to the audio. So this is the driving standards standings of 2025. Right. Lando Norris, world champion. Let's go over this side. Let's change it to the top so we can see all the board. There you go. So Lando Norris, world champion with 423 points. Max Verstappen second, 421 points. Third place, Oscar Piastri with 410. Fourth place, George Russell with 319. Fifth place, Charles Leclerc with 242. Sixth place, Lewis Hamilton, 156, even though Carew wanted Kimi Antonelli to pass him. In seventh, Kimi Antonelli with 150. Sorry, Carew. Eighth place, Alexander Albon, Williams, 73 points. Ninth place, Carlos Sainz, 64 points. 10th place, Fernando Alonso, 56 points. 11th place, Nico Hülkenberg, 51 points. 12th place, Isaac Hadjar. He'll be Red Bull next season, 51 points. 13th place, Oliver Bierman with 41 points. 14th place, Liam Lawson with 38 points. 15th place, Esteban Ocon with 38 points. 16th place, Lance Stroll with 33 points. 17th place, Yuki Tsunoda with 33 points. That's Max's number for next season. 18th place, Pierre Gasly with 22 points. 19th place, Gabriel Balotelli with 19 points. And Franco Colapinto and Jack Doohan with... Remember Jack Doohan at the beginning of the season? American guy. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy that he was in Formula One and it weren't long, innit? But they're the bottom two. So let's do the races. Let's do the teams. These are the official team, fucking McLaren. So in first place, McLaren, 833 points. Number two, Mercedes, 469 points. Third place, Red Bull of 451. Fourth place, Ferrari, 398. Remember, they were second last season in the constructors. Fifth place, Williams, 137. Sixth place, Racing Bulls, 92. 7th place, Aston Martin with 89. 8th place, Haas with 79. 9th place, Sauber with 70 points. And 10th place, Alpine with 22 points. So let's go to the finish of Abu Dhabi 2021. Let's go to the race results. So, first, Max Verstappen. Second, Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris, world champion. 3rd place. 4th place, Charles Leclerc. 5th place, George Russell. 6th place, Fernando Alonso. 7th place, Esteban Ocon. 8th place, Lewis Hamilton. 9th place, Nico Hülkenberg. 10th place, Lance Stroll. 11th place, Gabriel Bortoletti. 12th place, Oliver Beerman. 13th place, Carlos Sainz. 14th place, Yuki Tsunoda. And 15th place, Kimi Antonelli. 16th place, Alexander Albon. 17th place, Isaac Hadjar. 18th place, Liam Lawson. 19th place, Pierre Gasly. And Franco Colapinto at the bottom. So, that's it, Toto. It's over. DHL fastest lap, Lando Norris. There you go. So the last race was Charles. But if you look at all the fastest laps for the season, Lando Norris has got the most. So there you go. That's it, Toto. That's it, man. I didn't even know Lewis got one at Singapore, you know. He's got their Singapore.
Spot on the soft tires towards the end.
See, it's crazy, isn't it, though? Singapore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it then. Can't believe season's done, man. Season's done already. It's crazy, isn't it? Season's done.
To me, I thought it was a long season. I thought it felt like a real long season.
Yeah, I still wanted to carry on, though.
Of course.
No, they have to have the rest. 2-3 weeks after that.
Yeah. F1 is back in 90 days, and that's
not long.
That's such a blink of an eye. 90 days. It's not that long, to be fair. So, look, we're gonna miss it, but it'll be back just like that. You know. My favorite moments of the season, I think it's got to be the surprise podiums. Of course, Hadjar getting a podium. Of course, my favorite moment.
Hülkenberg getting one as well.
Yeah, Hülkenberg.
That
was good. Hülkenberg getting a podium. Hadjar getting a podium. Of course, Sainz getting a podium as well. 3 times, actually. Did he get 3 times?
I think
3 times Sainz got a podium.
Yeah.
This season. So credit to Sainz. You know, Sainz is one of my favourite drivers and the grid. So them 3 drivers getting podiums were definitely my favourite part of the season. Of course, my favourite, Lando Norris winning the championship.
Lando winning Silverstone.
Yeah, but again,
he won Silverstone in his home race. That's the one he always wanted to do. He won Monaco as well, but he won Silverstone in it, the heart of Formula One, being a British driver as well, where it all started. That he said that was his main mission, to win Silverstone, and he won it.
But yeah, they're my favourite moments.
Lewis winning the sprint race and all that, then taking it away, which for me, he still won it in my heart. That kind of hurt me. That Lewis, we thought that was the beginning of the beginning of Ferrari, and it. I mean, he won the race and the sprint race, and then we found out the next day that it was the car wasn't legal. You know,
that was just mad. You know, we think Hamilton's finally got his first race win this season, and then it just gets taken away from him. I know it is what it is, but yeah, there's been a lot of dramatic moments. Of course, the title chaos, Verstappen, Lando, and Piastri, that was good towards the end. The podium surprise of Hülkenberg, Hadjar, and Sainz. McLaren, you know, Lando winning Silverstone, winning the home track. So, yeah, they're my favourite moments of this season.
Yeah.
I thought, you're going to rate the season out of 10? I think towards the end it got better.
I think it was good from the beginning. I think it was good at the beginning. Even though Max wasn't really coming at him at the beginning of the season, he was still there about. And I thought the fight between Piastri and Lando was exciting as well. You had 2 drivers go in the same car, equal cars going for the championship. That's always a good thing when you got 2 drivers, not just one that Max had. When Max was dominating, just had the one car and it was just him all the time. At least with Lando Norris, he had Piastri fighting with him. And I thought after the second part of the season, when Max Verstappen got his car under and they found something on the car, and then after the summer break, he started coming back at McLaren, which was good as well. That made the championship more exciting as well, because everybody thought after the summer break, a couple more races in, and McLaren's going to win it. But Max come back at him. That's what made it more exciting, the battle. Then it became a three-way battle. So I think overall the season was really good. I think it was a really good season. I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10. I think it was really good. I think it was a good season between 7 and 8. I'd just say 7, which is a good number.
I thought it was a decent season.
I thought 7. It was a good season because at the beginning of the season, it was about the two McLarens. After the summer, it was about McLaren. It was about Max coming back at the McLaren. Then it became a three-way race championship. Yeah. So that made it exciting as well. Even Russell was involved. I probably knew that Russell was going to win the championship, but mathematically, up to 3-4 weeks ago, he was actually in the championship as well. So that proves that, you know what I mean? It was a good championship. I'd say 7. Very, very, very good 7, Toto.
Yeah, it was good. 7 for me as well.
So yeah. So that's it really. Anything else you want to talk about, Toto? Before we head off? We've got 6 people watching, guys. Can you please smack that like button as well? We're going to be heading off in a minute. We'll be back tomorrow for the Liverpool game. Liverpool's playing tomorrow. Watch along in the Champions League. And we will be doing a review as well. And we'll cover the women's football as well, Barcelona and Liverpool women. We'll cover that on this channel as well. And now the football, this is the last debrief for the season, but we will be doing weekly episodes of Formula One, and that's called the Flaming Tarmac, and that will be every Friday. Thursday or Friday, we'll be covering that every single week about all the news, what's going on in the garages after the winter break, after the, any news about the concepts of the new car. We're going to be covering that every single week on this channel as well. So look out for that show, the Flaming Tarmac. I think we're on like episode 70 odd now, so we're getting there. We're nearly 100.
Yeah.
On that. So Toto, anything you want to say before we go?
I just want to say that next season will come fast. It will
be. It's not long.
Winter testing as well. But yeah, it's been a good season, I say. Hopefully we see Lewis do well next season. Called my favorite driver. Of course, hopefully he does well. Hopefully that Ferrari car is back on top. Hopefully McLaren does well, but again, we don't know how it's going to be. But it's going to be very, very interesting, especially no DRS as well. Ground effect is all gone. She won't be hearing porpoising anytime soon.
What?
But ground effects, porpoising.
I thought you said pubs.
No. When we had that ground effect and porpoising issue and all that crap, the ride height, that'll be all gone. The ground effects, and it'll be a new era of Formula One, and we'll see who the main man is. Who will be there for the championship?
The main team.
The main team, yeah.
Because all the drivers can actually win a world title. It's just if they've got the car underneath them.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if you see Alonso up there next season.
I know.
Challenging for the championship.
Imagine that.
Imagine him and Lewis challenging for the championship. That'd be weird.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about Ferrari.
But
you never know. It might even be that Ferrari have been playing it down all season. Like they know they're gonna have a good car next year, so they're just playing it down like they're not going to. And when next year starts, what happens? You know what I'm saying, Toto?
Yeah.
Could be that, Could be that. Because when Lewis Hamilton went to Mercedes, they wasn't the best team in the world, and everybody was saying, what are you going to Mercedes for? Why are you leaving McLaren, who at the time was probably the best team? Why are you leaving McLaren and you're going to Mercedes? And he went there and everybody thought, the car's not that good. And what happened when the regulation changed the season after? That's what happened.
Yeah.
He had a big run of 6 years, winning everything, Mercedes, constructors and driver. You get me? Nico got 1, Lewis got 5. And Lewis got 4, he got 5. So there you go. It happens. And maybe Lewis saw the project of 2026 and it lured him in. They're not going to just say to Lewis Hamilton, come to Ferrari. It was your dream to drive for Ferrari. So come to Ferrari and that's it. Toto Wolff didn't want Lewis to go.
Yeah.
It was Lewis's decision. Toto said it was Lewis's decision to leave Mercedes. It was his decision. Mercedes didn't force him out. Toto said, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have let him go. But it was down to it was down to Lewis. He made the decision to go to Ferrari. It wasn't Mercedes' decision. So if people think it's Mercedes' decision, it wasn't. It was Lewis's. So Lewis must have saw that project. They must have sold the project to him and said, listen, this is what we're going to do in 2026. The same project that Niki Lauda sold Lewis when he went to Mercedes. He said, look, Lewis, look at this. This is what's going down in the future. Everybody laughed at Lewis. Everybody thought he made the mistake. And what happened when he went to Mercedes? The rest was history. This could happen when he goes to Ferrari. It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully for Lewis, it does. He needs, before he finishes his career off, he needs happiness. He needs closure, I would say. He needs closure to finish off his career. And hopefully not yet. You get me? Hopefully he's got more years in front of him. But that's it, man. That's the end of the season. It's the last debrief of the year. And we will be back next week with Flaming Tarmac. That'll be our F1 daily and weekly show. But this is the end of the debrief for 2025. This is episode 70. And I want to thank everybody who supported us through the season. Love all you guys, all the Formula One people on iTunes. I love the audio people. I love the people on TikTok. I love the people on Twitch. And I love the people also on YouTube as well. Big up to everyone on Twitch. Big up to everyone on TikTok and YouTube. And that's it, man. Toto, you say your last words before we head off.
Just say,
anything you want to say about Fulham, just say it now, bro. Go on.
No, I just want to say, of course, I'm going to miss it because one of our main sports, of course, in the channel, of course, to watch. We're going to be stuck watching how Liverpool do in an absolute debacle. But yeah, what else can I say? It's been a good season, and in 90 days it will start again. So just got to wait out for that.
Yeah. It's what I think of Liverpool. And I want everybody to join us next year. And I mean everyone. Everyone to join us. We'll be back next week for the Flaming Tarmac. When we do the Flaming Tarmac, it might be even 10-minute video. Might even be a 5-minute video. But the Flaming Tarmac is our weekly F1 show that will talk about Formula One, the news and the rumors about what's going to happen in the next season, 2026, when the regulations change. So I'm going to say my last goodbyes. This is the last episode of the season, the last debrief, episode 70. And the next time we do our debrief will be in 2026. I want to thank everybody for supporting us on this channel. We started, you know what, think about it, we're actually starting to get traction now and the season coming to an end. Yeah. But guys, remember the weekly show, Flaming Tarmac. This is what we're keeping the Formula One going with the Flaming Tarmac. And I want everybody to join us for that, for our weekly show. But I'm going to say goodbye from me, goodbye from Toto, and big up to people on YouTube, big up to people on TikTok, big up to people on the audio as well, and big up to everyone on Stitcher and Spotify and all the platforms. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. TikTok as well. So big up to everyone. See you later, guys, and enjoy our new intro. Let's do this first, and see you later, guys. Boom.